Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we're looking at the best and worst of each faction. Now this is something that we did a considerable amount of time ago when we had probably a lot less meta heroes. So again, we're going to run through kind of the best and the worst of each faction. I'm going to show you two of the best heroes, one of the absolute worst, starting literally just going down the row with the Lightbearer faction, and I'm excluding the Awakened heroes. Now, the Awakened heroes do have their own place, their own list, whatever it may be, guys. They are the absolute top tier heroes, honestly, in AFK Arena. When you look at the S+ ranking for almost all of them, they're really the heroes to build. So starting off with our Lightbearers, guys, number one is Scarlet. Scarlet still does have a lot of utility within the Twisted realm, utilized within the Cursed realm, utilized in a ton of game modes to really maximize the burst damage that we're seeing. Does require a significant investment as being a damage dealing hero. The higher you build her, the better she is going to perform. Now, the second one that we're looking at is Palmer. Since Palmer's introduction, really bringing in the crit and the crit amplification to teams, we have seen him run with Scarlet. We've seen him run with the Awakened version of Belinda, as well as a lot of other team comps. Again, Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, Treasure Scramble. We're seeing him within the Temporal Rift. We're seeing him in the Grand Hunt. Literally, Palmer is showing up everywhere for this faction. Bottom, guys, the award still holds true for the Lone Ranger, Walker, the Texas Warrior, whatever it may be, guys. He is still the hero that I feel is in a tier by himself. Super disappointing when they did release him. It was sad to see when he came out and how many people just really do not use him. Now, getting into our Maulers, of course, you're going to probably guess Anasta. Anasta is one of the absolute carry heroes in so many aspects of AFK Arena, including the Mauler Tower. But again, Cursed Realm, Treasure Scramble, we're seeing her used in a lot of different methods, in a lot of different ways. Even in the Temporal Rift, utilization is very, very high with this hero. And second one I want to go with, I was going to do Kren, but I'm going to go with Screg, just because without Screg, the invade teams do not exist, period. Honestly, building him out early, even building him out mid-game, late game, he is a hero that not only in the Mauler Tower does incredibly well, but again, he has entire teams that are just kind of based on him that do not work without him, similar to like a Skarath. If you do not have the hero built, the team will not work overall. In the dead last, the worst of this faction is still going to be K-Sauce, guys. Now, K-Sauce, of course, has an amplification to Life Leech. Players do not really use Life Leech. The problem with Life Leech, and we have said this since Life Leech has been out for the Maulers, if the target has a shield, the Life Leech is 100% nullified when it comes to the ability for them to do damage. The Life Leech does nothing if they are shielded, which is pretty sad to see. Getting into our Weilers, guys, I am still going top tier with Mishka. Mishka, again, utility super high within a lot of different formations. Works incredibly well, even with the Wolves 9 of 9 furniture, provides a lot of crowd control. Then when you add the E60 on there, you do also get the shielding aspect and the healing aspect that she is bringing. Again, utility of this hero is incredibly high. Second one we're going to look at is Best in Slot Neve. She is a hero that the higher you build her out, the better she is going to perform. She has the ability to boost up shields, remove buffs, and also, guys, a very unique ability right here with the E60 to permanently increase the summoner's attack rating and haste, which of course is huge. When you look at this ability, when you look at the Awakened version of Baden, when you look at Solus, when you look at Grez, when you even look at Mishka, does absolutely incredibly well, guys, in all of those formations, because she will buff up the allied summoned entities, making them much stronger. Now, the worst, unfortunately, I have to give it to my boy. It is going to Almas, guys. Unfortunately, he is a hero that could have had a lot of utility that I would love to see the Awakened version of, but overall, not effective, guys. We've tried him since he's actually been released for an incredible amount of time, for multiple years. Even back then, really didn't have a place, never found a place, never got a rework, nothing. They just let Almas to go ahead and rot, no pun intended, but he is a hero that nobody uses at this point, and they will not continue to use. Now, looking at our Graveborn, again, the absolute highest, guys, I would go with Grez. We still see his utility massively used across all aspects of AFK Arena. Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, Treasure Scramble, also used in the Temporal Rift, used in a ton of different game modes, even with the best in slot Abyssal Expedition right now. Grez is the one that is in there. Second one we're going to look at is Oden. Oden is a hero, guys. When he got a rework, he was essentially not effective, received the rework, they scaled him to the moon. Everything that he has, from a signature item to the furniture to the engraving, just scales him higher and higher and higher. Not only the displacement, the energy disintegration, but Oden himself does a ton, an absolute crazy amount of damage. If you can keep him up, if you keep him alive, the damage is there for this hero. And unfortunately, guys, I have to do it. Boom, Chimera. Talk about an absolute fall from grace. Chimera used to be the best in slot for pretty much every team. It was the players that had Chimera, the players that did not have Chimera, was really the defining line of AFK Arena once upon a time. Now Chimera is used literally nowhere. I don't even use her as fodder within the tower. Even though I love the skin that they did with her in Daemon, overall, not an incredible amount of utility, or no utility anymore. Even early game, she used to carry. She's been since replaced by any of the Awakened Heroes, period, or Daemon is one that will definitely drive her home. Now, looking at this one, guys, still number one best in slot of the best is Halos. Halos, again, provides a lot of unique abilities, including the energy regeneration, but the shielding aspect, again, there are a ton of formations, as Halos is still very present as of today. Could see it change in the future, but still does incredibly well. The second one that I'm going to do is, of course, Vathiel. Now, Vathiel, even though he's a tank, guys, has a lot of survivability, also provides very solid buffs within the teams, which is the big thing, guys. Not only does he have the ability to tank, in level deficiencies, he doesn't get one-shotted, but we're seeing him across, again, all game modes. Utility right there is very, very high. Signature item, of course, just makes him that much stronger. And this is also a massive buff to your entire team when you do get this plus 30 signature item, making Vathiel one of the highest sought after Celestial heroes. On top of that, guys, when it comes to the Celestial Tower, he is one of the top performing damage dealers in there. Even though he is a tank, he still does a ton of damage within those formations. The bottom, or the worst for our Hypogeans, is still got to go to my boy Wukong. We don't know if we're going to see an awakened version of Wukong. I love the skin they did on him, but overall, you get a couple copies of him very early game. Not much utility once you start getting a little bit further in AFK Arena. He goes to the sideline, even utilized as fodder. Even having him built out with signature item, having him built out with furniture, there is zero utility with him. I wish they would do a rework. I wish they would do something for him, because it would be really, really cool to see. Now, getting into the Hypogean heroes, still got to go with Lucretia, guys. She still possesses one of the absolute dominating traits, which, of course, when her team dies, she gets stronger. She literally buffs herself, and there is no cap to the buffs. There is a timer on the buffs, but there is no cap. So if 4 heroes die together, she is just a beast, and she will burn through all of the additional teams, guys, which again is kind of crazy. Now, the second one, and again, utility-wise looking in here, I'm going to go with Kanisa and Rook. I love the ability that they have. Of course, furniture is super important on them, because in here you have this energy reduction, which is true for the Hypogeans, which is true for the Graveborn. This reduction of energy is big. When you get him built up with the engraving, which we just did, when he takes fatal damage, he can stack up to 45% attack and defense, which again kind of deals with the survivability issues we've seen within the tanking class. But both Kanisa and Rook and Vathiel have come out incredibly well in formations. Now, the worst one in here, guys, is of course going to go, and I was kind of on the fence with this, but I'm going to go with Mizoth. I know there's a couple players that have Mizoth completely built. Once upon a time, he was a hero that everybody used. Combat rating, creep rating. Overall, there is no place that is used. I don't even use him as fodder within the tower anymore. Even getting into multiple teams, even just literally got him to legendary by pulling single copies of him. Over time, I wish, again, he had a little bit more viability, but I would go probably one of the worst for him. Now, looking at our final and our dimensional heroes, guys, best in slot still goes to Albedo. The big thing is there are so many dimensional teams that fundamentally do not work without Albedo. Albedo absolutely buffs up the entire team with the attack and defense, also has the immunity aspect as a tank, also has a really solid shielding aspect, which we love. Albedo, definitely, if you're looking to garrison a unit, guys, if you have a couple other dimensional heroes, she is really the one that you're going to be looking to garrison. Next one, of course, utility-wise, goes to Joan. Joan of Arc, by far the biggest dimensional to get out of the store. She is the one that you want the absolute priority. She adds an aspect of buffing, she adds healing, she adds damage mitigation. As a support hero, she really does it all. And again, looking fundamentally, we see her through an incredible amount of AFK Arena in team comps, Treasure Scramble. We see her pretty much ever. And then our final worst hero goes to Nakaruru. So unfortunately, guys, she had a place early when she was actually able to get through shields. As of now, again, the power creep over time. She has no usability, no utility within AFK Arena. Even Yukio has the ability to stop Flora in a couple of really niche formations, but Nakaruru, unfortunately, as much as I love the hero, and I literally got her the second she came out, you can see not a big build on her, not really utility aspect. Unfortunately, did not see much viability with her. Once, again, one or two heroes came out, or a lot of players got her and didn't even build her, which was super unfortunate. All right, guys, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about the best and the worst heroes of AFK Arena. Again, this is a video that we did probably about a year ago. I have a lot of players that still comment on the old video. They wanted to see kind of an updated video just with the best and the worst of each faction, and I didn't want to cover them because we have so many heroes in here now, guys. It is absolutely insane the amount of heroes that we now have in AFK Arena. But again, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think the best and the worst heroes in AFK Arena are. And as always, thank you guys for watching.